Hello friends and hello student. In this session we learn the nesting member function in C++. So how it's work, let us take, and also private member function in C++. So yes, in Turbo C++ is there. Just double click and yes, take some time. And now yes, open Alt F file menu and taking new file. And in comment line that our concept nesting member, yes, member function. So that is first concept we have to cover, and then you can take the private member of class. So here yes, private member of uh, private member. So private member function, or we can say that private member of that class. So that is a, we can always in nesting, so both concepts are connected, nesting member function and private member of function. So yes, start the our coding and include the our header file io string.h, yes, and then we can define the conio.h and then our class that include file, and then next section, or that is C++. So here we can define the class, and we can take the class name as a we some mathematical process, or create a largest value find in our class. So we here use the any name of that class. So here we can say that max value. Okay, that type of class name you can give any that combination max value or maximum value. So that is meaning, and semicolon is required. So here we can take x and y and z. There are three integer variable, and that is a private. Okay, that scope of class variable that is default is a private. And here we can define our member function. So we can take the first get data. So that is a, we can take as a inline. So inline is a inside of class, that is inline. So here we can directly only two statements. So I declare as a inline, and here we cannot require inline keyword. So I also cover the inline function. So my in previous video lecture I also covered inline function. So enter x and y and z, and enter integer. We can say that integer x and y and z will all are in one. So that is a another important concept, and that cascading input, cascading IO, that is known as a concept. So only one statement you can use more than two input or output operator, that is known as a cascading IO. And here then our max. So that return type is a, like we can take also return arguments. So here we can also like define a integer, yes, and that return data type. So and max, that is a maximum value we have to find, and that is outside of class. And then we can print our value. So that is we can define like a put data. So yes, so now so three member is there. Get data, we can scan three integer number and directly inline inside the class, that the default is a inline, that rules is follow. So now we can define, that is a return data type integer, yes, and then max, but over give the class max value, and scope rejection and max, that is our function member name, function name. And here we can define one uh, variable, and that is a local, and then we can temp, we can return that temp. Okay, and here we can take if as nested if else condition, x is greater than equal to y, then opening, and then inner if. So also in we can say that nested if else concept also covering that, so many concept I cover. And first we can save this file. So here we can say that main concept is a nested member function. So nested, yes, nest, just, and member, yes. So there are 8 character and dot cpp. So now x is greater than equal to y, and now x is greater than equal to z. So our temp is, we can say that is a x, okay, or you can say that max, but max is our function name, so I declare the temp value. So you can change like a function func max, that type of also use possible, but here remaining as it is. So temp equal to, now z is directly, we can say that you have to know, else if nested if else x is greater than y, then x is greater than z. So here x is temp, you can store, and if this condition is false, that meaning x is greater than y, but z is greater than x, so z is also greater than y. So that temp is directly assigned to z. And in else part, same, we can define our nested if else. So here again, if main if condition is false, that meaning y is greater than x, so y is greater than z. Now last checking, and we can temp assign to y, or in else we can say that yes, proper order. So here, and then temp is equal to z, same as above. So here, if that condition is false and that condition is true, so y is maximum, but this condition is false, then again z is a maximum, because y is a maximum to x, and then here condition is false, that meaning z is greater than y. So y is greater than x, so z is a maximum. Yes, that is true. So here our logic is set, and we can return the that temp. So here return keyword and temp variable. So also that member function, we can define the no argument but return value, that type of member or user defined function in our C language, we can say that. And now yes, here one extra, yes. So here I nesting, not call of that max value function. We can directly here write return data type, and then class max val and scope rejection operator, and then put data print, or you can say that print data. So here we can directly call our output, and that we can, that's the maximum value is, and here I call the we can say that our function name is a max mx. So directly call here. So that return data type is integer, and directly that is a nesting. So here I in comment line. So here that concept is called nested member function. So what is a nesting? Like here I cover 2 examples. So here nested if else. So that is one if else condition. In inner is a if else condition. And also else, if else, that is inner else if condition. So that is known as a, so I take this example. So in this case, so nested member function what? So you can understand in C language, nested if else, nested for loop, nested do while loop, that type. One loop is another, like for loop in triangle pyramid shape, we can take the nested for loop. So that type same concept here I revise this if else again in if else, and else also if else. So that is a nested if else. So here one member function call the other member function, that is a public, both are. And if also if that you can define as a private, there is no error, any error. So public member write to the call to the private member. So here that xyz is a private. So we can call this get data, use that xyz. In max function we can use, and put data we can also use. So now our last the main, and also I put that max function is a private, then what happens? So there is no any error. So here, yes, here void main is required. And last, that is bottom. So that C++ is programming bottom to top, and C is a top to bottom programming style. And here we can define our max value class and M1, that object, that known as an object, and clear the screen. And we can call first M1 and then get data, yes, and get data. We cannot call to our max function, okay, or you can say that cal function, whatever that type of meaning also you can calculate some, but here is a maximum value. So max value is our class name and max is a function name, so you cannot confuse. So if you confuse, then here give some max function, that type of also you can use word. So here I directly call, not max directly, put data I call, because that is a nesting. So put data, yes, and semicolon and then get ch. Why? Because we can already call in the max to the put data. So first we can, that max function is call, and then value is print, because we have to return data type of that integer value is returned. So here our integer is return data type. So temp is a cover maximum value and then pass the maximum value in temp variable. So that is temporary, just that meaning. So that, yes, any no error. Yes, one error is there. What? Yes, that is a put data. Yes, that name one D is remaining. So that is giving error. Otherwise, that spelling mistake. So just typing mistake. So there is, yes, no error. So I give like 10 and one blank, because all are in one scene. So one blank, or otherwise you can provide the enter key. That is also, so that is a 30 maximum value. And also we can testing all the case. So I first give 30 to X, then enter key, then 20, yes, and then enter key, and then 10. So enter key is also possible. Yes, 30 is answer. So that is, we can define the X as a maximum. And now we can define X and Z. Now define the Y as a maximum. So what? Yes, that also all testing is possible in this case. So here 20, then one blank space, 30, and then 10. So in middle of Y is a maximum. So yes, that all case is okay, and our logic is okay. And here I cover first concept of this session, nesting member function. So one member function call other member function, that is here maximum max integer, that return data type call the put data. Put data and max both are the member of same class, and that is a nested member function. So one function call to other function, like a nested if else, nested for loop. Here nested if else I already use, so you can alert, or you can understand what is a nesting. Okay, now we can say that private member function. So private member function, I just as cut this max and provide into here. There is no any error, because we can already call in the public member. Okay, so that is a private member function, so not a variable. That is max is a private member function. So here I just in comment line. So that is our second concept I cover in this session. So that is a private. So I can combine both concept, because that is a, if you define the private member function, definitely you can call using the nested member function, that concept. There is no any way. So I give this idea. So here if we take that object call to, because there is a, we can define like outside, and here I call like m1 dot max. So that taking error. Previously that not taking, because that public, but now is error. Because why? The max is not accessible, because that is a private. But previously we can take that is no error, because that is a public. I just cut this and put in the public part, so that is not giving any error. So that is okay. Yes, but that we can nesting, so there is no error. So because that is a public member previously, but I just uh, cut and put to private section. So that is a private member function. So private member always that concept taking the nesting member function. So I can cover both concept in one session. So what is a nested member function? I first explain, and then private member. Private member you can declare in your class, so that object cannot handle the private variable. Like here, if you assign like that type of like m1 x, you can define the 10 or any 5 values. So here give the error. Yes, that is 2 error. So x is not accessible, max is a not accessible, both are a private now. So that is a giving the error. Object is a not right in the class private member or private function to handling that object of that class, because that is only write to the public members, and that is a data hidden data encapsulation, and that is a OOPS security. That is a, so you cannot handle this statement is a wrong. So I just, if you write or understand, so I just comment line, and this statement also wrong, okay, in class. So now it's okay, and same as previously, there is no any error, and our work is a, I give any value, we can sequence 10 10 any give value, like here I first I remove the blank and then give the page. So yes, and then one blank, so I give any value like 20, so 20 is a maximum. So yes, so I think you can understand. And if you uh, there is a two concept I covered. What is a nesting member function and what is a private member function. So private member and private member function not handle the that class object we can prove here. So I remaining this comment line as it is for your understanding. So that is not possible in class, that is invalid, and it is also invalid. And when you can take the private member, that time you can go compulsory is a nesting member concept. So I cover in both concept in one session. That is very important point. Class concept you can understand very well. Okay. So I think you can enjoy, and very powerful concept, very simple concept, but class is a very powerful concept. Private member function, how to declare and how to handle. That is concept I clear, and that is a handling only one way, and that is a nesting member or nested. You can say that nesting member function. So write this program, maximum value of 3 integer, and also same you can convert like minimum. I just change this less than all if condition you can put the less than or equal to. So that is converting the minimum value. So you have to know very well. So now I close this session. I think you can understand. I just summarize all these things 2 times, so you cannot miss any point in this concept. And I now close this file, alter F3 function key, and then alter X quit. So subscribe my channel Ashok Sijal Academy, press the bell icon to never miss any update. Thanks for your watching, supporting, and sharing my video lecture. And Hare Krishna.